It's time.
It's time.
Time to meet the women who make a living around fast cars.
Hello, ladies.
This is Women Take the Wheel.
Sit down, strap in, and turn on all you got.
Nikki Clark is taking you behind the scenes.
You're ready to win.
Let me tell you, these cars, they get up and go pretty good.
Introducing you to women drivers, crew members, and fans of the racing world. Plus, Nikki is bringing you the latest racing news in Indiana and beyond.
We're going to bring it to you from the tower as they get ready to pull into the beam.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
All right, strap yourselves in.
Getting off the track and in your ears. This is Women Take the Wheel.
Come on, baby.
With your host,
Here we go.
Nikki Clark.
Hi, I'm Nikki Clark, your host for Women Take the Wheel here on the All Indiana Podcast Network. And on this episode, I have one of the hardest working women in NHRA joining me, Kelly Antonelli. She's the Vice President of Team Operations for Tony Stewart Racing. She's been around the sport for a long time and does way more than most people realize to keep the race teams running. This week, we talk about how she got into motorsports, who helped influence her passion for working in racing, and what advice she has for girls who want to get into the business side of motorsports. Stay tuned.
Your day moves fast. Your news should too. That's why there's a new and improved Wish TV app bringing you more local news, breaking alerts, live streaming, weather forecasts, radar, and Indiana sports all in one place. Customize your news feed to see the stories that matter most to you and get the information you need when you need it. Download the new and improved Wish TV app today on iOS or Android and take News 8 with you everywhere.
Okay, and welcome to another Women Take the Wheel. And today I have with me my friend Kelly Antonelli. How are you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me.
And Kelly is the VP of Team Operations for Tony Stewart Racing. Is that all of it or just the nitro part of it?
Just the nitro side. I am. We're in the same building as the sprint car side, but I just run the nitro team.
Now, tell me what goes into that, because you're in the business side of it, and I think people don't realize how much work you do. Like, you do so much work. Like, on a daily basis, kind of like, what are the tasks that you do for the team?
Well, there is a lot to it. I've just done it for so long, I think that it's a little more seamless for me than it would be for other people that maybe were getting into it. But it's, there's a lot of different aspects. In drag racing, you have the team operations side, you have all the team travel, you have hospitality, marketing, social media, PR, and then just, the total basic nuts and bolts of the team. So I'm kind of involved in all those aspects, overseeing them, not necessarily doing all of them, but overseeing all those aspects to make sure that the team functions and we're performing not just on the racetrack, but a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, the social media, the PR, the marketing, the sponsor relations, all those things are equally as important as the performance on the racetrack.
Exactly. You take care of all that so the crew guys can concentrate on getting the car and winning, and you take care of everything else. And then, if you weren't aware, we have her drivers are Leah Pruitt in Top Fuel Dragster and Matt Hagan in Top Fuel Funny Car. And like, for instance, Matt, crazy busy at Stampede of Speed this week, and you kind of take care of that.
Yeah, so down there in Texas right now, Ashley Wilson, who is our Senior Director of Public Relations, is there with Matt. He had opportunity to do some promotional work with the PBR, a cross promotion, and also opportunity to go to a Brett Young concert. They'll have autograph signing later this week. Tony and Leah are there Wednesday doing some other, what am I trying to say?
Public appearances?
Yeah, appearances, but some charity events and public appearances also. So it's a busy week. But yeah, Matt is down there with Ashley right now, and it's a great event they're doing. He just had the opportunity to go in early and do a little extra behind the scenes, which is good exposure for our sponsors and additional PR work that we can do to help support the function of the event.
Yeah, and that's part of what your job too, is you get these sponsors, and then you have to make sure to show the sponsors, hey, this is what you're getting, and you do that. You're making sure all those contract obligations and everything, that's all you too, right?
Yeah, so once a deal is signed, I work very closely with Jared Frood. He's out of our Charlotte office, and he gives me like a checklist of these are all the things that, we were promised. So I make sure that we go through that list, and we are holding up those obligations. That could be social media content, that could be hospitality, appearances, a lot of different things, and it's unique to every sponsor what their needs are. So we just make sure that we are doing what we're asked for. And obviously that landscape has changed a lot in the last 5 to 10 years on what the expectations are. So you do have to be on top of what, you've promised, and then making sure that you are legitimately following through with what you've promised.
Yeah, you want to keep those sponsors. We don't want them leaving. It's like, hey, what do you need? We got you.
Yes, exactly. And the goal is to under promise and over deliver always, and give them more than what they asked for. So and I work very closely with Ashley, and she's done a great job on the PR and the social media landscape. We're over indexing on where we needed to be, and that does great wonders, and hopefully it brings on more sponsors as we continue.
And I know I've talked with this before, because I love Ashley. I'm like, she does so much for your social media and so much unique content. I tell her every time I see her, I'm like, you girls rock. You just make everything look so good and such unique content. So yeah, I'll have to have her on the show soon.
Yes, she does a great job. We work well together. And I think that's a big part of building the team. It's not just the crew guys and those working together. It's you have other support personnel, and maybe down the road we'll have to bring on another person, as this grows. But we want to be efficient and mindful in the beginning, get it off the ground, and do the best we could with what resources we had, and not over, staff for things that we didn't need. And I think it's worked out really well. She and I work well together. And
this is your first year out as a Nitro team. So it took a lot of building, I take it, last year, like you had to do, and the winter was pretty busy for you guys last year.
Yeah, we basically, honestly, only had about 60 days to put everything together. So once Tony put the team together, our official start date was after Thanksgiving, and we were sitting in Phoenix testing the first week of February. So there was a lot to do, from getting the team, clothing, uniforms, trailers wrapped, awnings ordered, hospitality trailers done, wrapped. But to be honest, we showed up at testing. We had everything we needed, with the exception of our hospitality trailer got wrapped while we were testing, and it was at Pomona. That was the last kind of piece of the puzzle that had to be put together. But we were in uniform. We had fire suits. Our teams were clothed. Wow. Everything was done when we got there. We were very proud when we got there, that 60 days. And honestly, the day we walked in, Tony said, we have 59 days. And I said, enjoy December. Yes. It won't be after that.
Oh, my God, how crazy. And you guys test so much and everything, too, so you have to take care of all that, too. Wow.
Yeah, so and it's been ongoing. And we're taking what we, put together very quickly, and now we have the opportunity going into this season, looking at Ashley and I've already started working on 2023, and now we have the opportunity to step back and look at what we would do different, what we would improve upon, what we can critique, what we can add to what we're already doing. And I would have to say we don't have a lot of critiquing to do of where we were. I think what we are doing now is building on that platform. And for as quickly as it came together and got off the ground, I feel we've done really, really well, and we'll just build on it, make it better. And we've got conversations already going with sponsors in that same regards of what can we do better, what can we build on, what do you want us focusing on or not focusing on, and we're already in that mindset for 2023.
Oh, you got to look ahead. It's something fans are focusing on this weekend, and you're way ahead. You're a few steps ahead of that.
Yes, we're already thinking about testing, kicking off the season, what needs to be done in the off season. The teams are very focused on the countdown and where they're at in the point standings and what they need to do these last 3 races. But for us, it's, the rest of us got to be looking out way beyond that, because before you know it, we'll be right back at testing again. So,
okay, and now I don't want to age people. A woman never tells her age, but you've been doing this a while.
Yes.
We'll say that. I met Kelly because you used to work for John Force Racing, and same thing with sponsorship activation. I worked with the Brand Source, my marketing company did, in getting the prize giveaway and pictures, and some of the guys who I work with were on other teams. I'm like, dude, I've been stalking you since 2013 when you were at Brand Source. But so you were with JFR for 22 years.
Yes.
So everybody knows you out there.
Yes, I've been established in the sport for quite a while. I actually worked at Mac Tools prior to that. That's kind of how I got my start.
Yeah, we're talking about that because I didn't know that. So, and we were talking a little bit. Tell me how you got into the Mac Tools.
So actually with Mac Tools, I got the opportunity to do an internship in high school. At my high school, I took a business program. It was an internship that was required to graduate, and they send you out on job interviews. I was selected at Mac Tools, and normally it's a one-year opportunity, then you go on to college. I did very well there. They asked me to stay, so I did, and they worked around my school schedule, which ended up taking a lot longer to finish school because I started working full-time.
Yep.
And then they offered me the opportunity to bid on a job in motorsports. I really didn't have my eyes set on that. I knew about it. It was a big program for Mac Tools. It was their main marketing avenue. But my boss at that time encouraged me to apply for it. And she goes, I think you're a good fit for this job, and I don't want to hold anybody back. You should apply for this and, spread your wings a little bit and learn more. Because I did tell her one of my goals was to get in the marketing department. And that opportunity came up, and she pushed me into doing it, and I got selected. And kind of the rest is history because I spent several years doing that and then got a job opportunity with John Force. And most people know that Guido and I are married. We met
I was going to say, did you meet Guido?
Yeah, I met him when I worked at Mac Tools and started working together then, several years later at John Force Racing. And he was there for quite a while as well. But, I'm very thankful you don't know sometimes where avenues are going to lead. And anyone that gets an opportunity to do an internship at a young age or going to college, I encourage you to do it because it will open your eyes to maybe if you do or don't want to do something. It just encouraged me more to get more involved in marketing and motorsports. I was going down strictly a business avenue at the time, and then once I learned about the marketing department at Mac Tools, I said, no, I think that's something I'd be interested in. And it grew from there, and just having that opportunity as an intern would not have had that exposure otherwise. So
yes, I'm a huge internship person. I'm like, because you say you don't know until you try it. And so like for media, I did newspaper, I did radio, I did television, I did, to figure out what you want. And so you weren't like a motorsports kid growing up then?
Not at all. No, my parents were involved. I had friends that would go to National Trail Raceway because I lived in Ohio and Kilcare, places like that. And we might go for a Saturday, but I was never, all engulfed in it. Like, Guido, his family, they grew up around it. He worked on race cars with his dad. I did not grow up in that background. It was, totally from my high school experience getting involved in it and learning about it at Mac Tools. They pretty much exposed me to it. I even got to go to a couple races before I worked in motorsports. I volunteered and went and worked at the U.S. Nationals a couple of times. So that was another opportunity for me to learn, okay, maybe I would want to do this. So I got to see it all firsthand without having the risk of, just jumping in and having the job. They let me try it out, so I did.
Oh, that's nice. Who was the first driver that you kind of worked with then?
So some of the first drivers would have been Kenny Bernstein, Daryl Gwynn, at that time, Joe Amato, Snake. Also on the NASCAR side, we were heavily involved with Robert Yates Racing, Ernie Irvin, and then became Dale Jarrett after Ernie's accident. Davey Allison, some of those people that are very historical in both sides of racing. And I will have to say on the drag racing side, Daryl Gwynn, Kenny Bernstein, very helpful in someone that was very young and teaching me kind of the ins and outs of motorsports and drag racing. And I would say and Kenny's his girlfriend at the time, Cheryl Johnson.
Oh, she's like a legend. She is a PR legend.
So they were all very helpful in kind of laying a path for me and being helpful when you had questions and not giving you trick answers, but like pointing you in the right direction. Because there were some promotions I worked on like right out of the gate, and they were all very, very helpful in making sure that I kind of was going down the right path and had the information I needed, and or probably a big part of why I probably chose to take the path in drag racing was just from their friendship and assistance.
Oh, I just love Daryl. Like I said, I've known Daryl since I was 8. He used to keep his rig and everything at our shop in between Brainerd and Indy. And so I still saw him, and I saw him at the U.S. Nats and had to give him big hugs and Papa Jerry. I'm like, I need hugs, Jerry.
Yes, it's great to see. I'm very still involved. Daryl's still out there in all forms of motorsports, really, and with his Miami project charity, and it's just great to have him still out there and all the years that he's been involved in the sport. So it's always good to see Daryl.
And here's another job that she does, and when we see you on TV, you're at the top end. You're part of the top end club. So when the guys are getting out of the car, she's the first person there with them. So like, what does that involve? I know most of the VP people are down there. So what do you do with the drivers at the top end?
So some of the teams have a representative down there, and the purpose of having that, and I think it's great, is one, I take a hat up. When they're interviewed, they always have their sponsor hat on, but a lot of times they want to know about how their car performed, and we actually have the option up there that they print a time slip. They can look at their reaction time. A lot of them like to look at their 60-foot time, like to see how they ran, and then try to give them some information on where that puts them. So when you're qualifying, Matt and Leah, they'll know kind of where they're positioned at that time, and just how they performed. But and then a lot of times Amanda Busick or Joe Costello or Bruno Massel, whoever is down there working, want to do an interview. So they have the option to have their hat there, and they can go right on camera. Like I said, several teams have a sponsor representative down there or a team representative, and it just gives them that opportunity to be prepared when they get out of the race car.
Because like I said, we keep talking about it is a business. As much as the fans love to watch it, it's still a business. You need to make sure you're represented. And the fact that they jump right in the car and they have to take care of media appearances, and the guys are getting the car ready to go back, doing that time slip and everything will help them be prepared when they go talk to you.
Yes, and if you look back at John Force when he was racing with Castrol, Lorianne, a lot of people know Lorianne.
Yeah.
She always was up there making sure that she always provided the Castrol hat to them. And I would say that probably set kind of the norm for everybody of what was expected, because there probably was many years there was no one up there. But as TV became more and more prevalent, especially with live TV, you need to be prepared, and it's very important to have somebody up there if you can. NHRA is very helpful as well. If you don't have somebody up there, they assist in getting them out of the car and getting everything. But if you want to make sure you have the proper sponsor branding on, it's imperative that you have a sponsor representative or team representative.
See, I love it because I pay attention to that stuff. I'm such a nerd. I watch you guys on NHRA TV Live, and then I go back and I watch on Fox and that and say, okay, what did they actually put on TV? And when I was doing this, I'd go to him like, hey, my guy won 3 rounds. Why didn't he get a top-end interview? And I'm like, and I call him out. So I'm such a nerd. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's important, though, because it does have to do with, they're building storylines and different reasons for, performance or something unique, a unique win or round win or number of rounds of qualifying. There's always a formula to what they do, but it is good to watch for that, too. You get to also see, and they don't always get aired, but even if they do get interviewed, sometimes they don't. 95% they probably do, and some are for trackside use only, but it is good to watch that as well because it gives them practice.
And another thing, like I said, there's more jobs you guys don't realize. Here's another one, winner's circle. That's just not a party for you.
Right.
You are working in the winner's circle, making sure everybody's branded.
Exactly. So, once you win, there is a process that, and it's something years ago that NHRA managed, and then teams started taking it over because we have, different photos we need to get. You've got obviously your series sponsor with Camping World, you've got the event sponsor, and then you go into your primary sponsors and your associate sponsors. So they all want photos, and they like to post now, pretty quickly on social media and, different win ads. So you have like a checklist of these are all the things I have to make sure I get done, and these are the photos we have to distribute tonight. And these are the ones that have certain props that have to be in the photo or a certain position, or maybe they only want the driver in the race car. There is a very specific science to kind of what happens when you win, and probably a lot of people don't realize that. They get to see the excited picture with the driver and the team, but there are things you have to do off your checklist as well.
Oh, yeah. And I know, one of the teams that I think Greg Anderson, they always had a suitcase with all the different hats already prepped of okay, we need to make sure. Another team, same thing. One of my favorites is one time Troy Coughlin Sr. won, and Scott Woodruff, Woody, who everybody knows too, did the hat dance. Troy just stood there with his trophy and a cigar, and he kept changing hats on him. just stand still. Let me just change your hat. Let me just change your hat.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, and you guys have a lot, so I understand.
Yes, yep. And we... I actually have them pre-organized in a tub so that when you're up there, it's not a scramble of trying to find this or that hat.
Yep.
And then after each win, you go back and you refresh that box. So when you get up there, you're prepared. You know everything's there other than the event and the series hat. You have everything you need, and then you don't miss anything. So your checklist is kind of already pre-done for you. So a lot of planning.
Like I said, I keep thinking about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. She does this. She does this, too. And, like, hospitality, organize that because that's, like, clients and fans. And that's a whole other beast right there. And you do it all.
Yes, and hospitality has become probably in the last, it's been for a while, but probably especially in the last 10 years, unique about our sport is that it's right there in the pits.
Yeah.
But there is a process, getting it organized, trying to find out from sponsors who they're bringing, ordering food. But that access to the drivers and being in the middle of the pit, watching them work on the cars and being able to sit in hospitality has become such a key selling point. It's got to be a buttoned up program, very professionally run. And for all the top teams, you almost always will see that they have trackside hospitality.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, too. And I enjoy it, too. I mean, I've never actually, just got in there and relaxed because I'm always working, which I love, but
right.
That's where I found you guys in Indy, and God bless them. I think it was the last day, and you two are just in there like, man, we're wiped.
Yeah. Indy's
that was 5 days.
A long event, and then we do a really big hospitality setup there.
Yeah.
We call it the circus tent. So that one's because we got twice as many people. You've got family and friends, but you've also got sponsors. It was a Dodge-sponsored race.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a lot of customers and associates that they bring. So that one, Indy is a our marquee event of the year, but it's also very tiring because it's 4 to 5 days long. But our day or our week started on Monday. We had a press conference. We had Dodge ride and drives and different things. So we had a lot going on just for over a week.
Yeah, I know they did. Even my people here at Wish TV came out and they had a blast doing your Dodge event. They're like, they're so nice. Leah's so great. And I've known Leah forever and ever. Back when she was I think 13.
Oh, wow.
I've known Leah, and I did her media tours and stuff like that. So I always cheer for her. Whenever I'm like, go Leah.
It was nice to have that at our shop. A lot of people haven't been in the shop. We moved in so quickly and got up and running. We've had very few people there, and we still haven't even honestly decorated it or probably put it together the way that maybe Tony wants it yet, but we have had people there. But it was nice to have our first actual function there with the press conference with media and TV, radio, and newspaper, magazine. We had everybody there. It was nice.
That is great. Okay, so now we're going to do a little fun questions.
Okay.
So you've been this for a while. We're not saying how long. What is your most memorable race where you're just like, oh my God, I'll never ever forget that race?
Oh, wow.
I know. It's a hard question.
Probably, I'd have to say, so my husband was Ashley Force's crew chief when she started, and she won her first race in Atlanta, and I remember how crazy it was, and we knew at some point she would win a race. You just didn't know when, obviously, but it was a lot more chaotic than we thought, and it ended up running late at night, later than normal because of weather. And that was Ashley's first win. It didn't go perfectly the way we wanted, but we were excited because she was the first, generation of the Force girls to get their win. And obviously Guido's first win as a crew chief.
Wow. I remember that one too. I'm like, that was an incredible win.
Yes.
Please tell me you have the Ashley Force doll at home.
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say.
She actually, and she went on to win the U.S. Nationals back-to-back years. With Guido as well, and she gave me one of the trophies for winning the U.S. Nationals. Yeah,
oh,
I have that.
Is so cool.
So that was probably another one. And I was completely caught off guard. She kept talking about giving it to someone, and the way she was describing the person, I kept thinking it was going to be Lorianne at Castrol because she kept saying she puts up with my dad and she does this. I'm like, yeah, Lorianne does all that.
Yeah.
And then she gave me the trophy, and I was like, what? I was in tears because I didn't expect it. I thought it was going to Lorianne, and we would also deserve it very much. But that was cool, too, because her winning back-to-back is something John had not even done.
Oh,
so,
wow. Good go,
neat.
girls. I love Ashley, too. And her sons, so we got the third gen, the sons in Autumn now.
Yes.
The Hoodlum brothers.
Yes, Super Comp. Autumn's moving into Super Comp. They both did, Jacob and Noah also did junior drags. They're still doing that a little bit. but I know Autumn's recently acquired a Super Comp car. So.
I can't believe how much she's grown up.
Yes, 18.
Yeah, oh my God, that scares me. Not her just like that. I'm like, I feel so old now. And then, so you kind of brought it to a light earlier. What advice would you give to girls who want to get into the business side of racing? What things should they start doing now to get jobs inside racing?
I think mostly is get well-rounded on all the aspects first. Like, I was lucky, and it just worked out this way. I didn't plan it this way, but looking back, it was a good way for it to do it. But I took business classes, I took marketing, and I took legal classes, all of which contribute to what I'm doing now. Then, as I mentioned earlier, if you get an opportunity to do an internship while you're going to school, I highly recommend it, even if it has to be for free, which I know some schools want you to do it that way. The experience you get and the exposure to the position is well worth it. It will lay the groundwork for what you want to do, what you think you can do, and what you can be exposed to as far as where those opportunities can go. I would recommend that. But I was very lucky to have had, and it's mostly because I was changing my major, but everything I took, like I work with contracts now, licensing, merchandise, hospitality, PR and marketing, and then obviously the whole running the business side of it and working with Jared and Tony on the program. Every one of the classes that I took has had a major contribution to what I'm doing right now, and I am thankful I have that to lean back on.
You're right, and I think to me it's like even job experiences, and like you could be in retail and stuff like that, and you'll never know that the skills you get doing that will apply to businesses.
Exactly.
You do. I mean, the customer service part, dealing with, the clients and the sponsors, that came in so handy for me. I'm like, every little thing, I'm like, well, I did this in TV. I can do this here.
Yes, exactly. Don't ever doubt experience. Even if it isn't, you aren't going to jump right into being in charge of a race team. You may have to start and work your way up anywhere in any organization, or you may have an opportunity to work for a racetrack or a sanctioning body. All those experiences will help whichever one you land on, no matter where your experience comes from. Even working in a business environment and applying that to running a race team or, running hospitality or something, all that experience is going to pay off. So don't turn something down that, even if it's a tiny aspect of what you want to do, because that's always valuable experience.
I love that. And tell everybody where they can follow Tony Stewart Motorsports, Tony Stewart Racing, so that they can follow you guys in the countdown and cheer for y'all.
So our social media handle is TSR Nitro, and we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Ashley does a great job with content. She'll keep you updated. We change, different special paint schemes. Leah has a special paint scheme coming up for Dallas. And we have 3 races to go, so it's going to be exciting into the season.
Yes, good luck, and thank you so much for stopping by.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thank you again for listening. I'm Nikki Clark, and this is Women Take the Wheel. Be sure to connect and follow on Facebook when you search for Women Take the Wheel podcast. And be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast right now on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network,
This is Women Take the Wheel.
with Nikki Clark. Follow and subscribe to this podcast now and discover even more great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Online at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
AllIndianaPodcastNetwork.com.